Here's me, and my mum's just given me a magic mushroom. My mum says, eat it, and I say, I don't want to. She says, eat it, and I say, I hate magic mushroom or trip. And she says, don't you talk like that. When I was a girl, I had to eat whatever drugs my mum put in front of me. Do you think I could talk to my drug dealer like that? Do you know there are some people in the world who give their right arm to have no veins? I'm telling you this, if you don't eat your magic mushroom, there'll be no goldfish. And I've made something rather nice. I think you know what I drink. So here goes. In goes a bit of magic mushroom. Here goes. And actually, it was nice. So I ate the lot. So there I was on a drug trip.
Wow, fantastic, baby. Dance. I wanna dance, 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 dance. Fantastic, baby. Dance. I wanna dance, 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 dance. Wow, fantastic, baby.
And there's my brother, he's doing the same.
Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka.
There's my mum, she's doing the same. But my dad, what does he do? He stuffs a great big chunk of mushroom into his mouth and then his brain explodes. Boom. Anyway, my mum, she says to me, listen, Michael, if there's any drugs left over at the end of the day, you can take some to school tomorrow to deal at playtime or at lunchtime. So playtime, we all went onto the playground. I said, right, a hip hop, hap. I'm giving you all the Michel Rosen read crack and LSD. But we had a teacher who was so strict, you weren't allowed to do drugs in her lessons. She used to stand out the front going, no,
drugs.
And you had the whole morning to get through. And all the time you'd be thinking about read. So sad. Such a sad, sad place. And some of us figured out what you had to do was snatch a quick puff under the desk lid when she wasn't looking. So once more, from the beginning. Only thing that happened was I got a rotten headache. After a few months of this, Haribo said, right, finger, I'm stopping you from doing drugs. I said, but you can't. So he goes, if you don't stop it, I shall tell a terrifying teacher called Miss Goodall. So he said, yeah, I bet you can't. So he said, okay. And he just stands up and he tells Miss Goodall all about my drugs. And I went to prison. It was horrible. You weren't allowed any plums in prison. And I cried. But some of us figured out what you had to do to get out early was to go mad in the prison. So there I was going mad in the prison. Watch the windmill. Watch the windmill. Go to tram. Go to Shettle. Plums. Plums. Hooray! Anyway, after I get out of prison, I took a plane to Holland. There were great big windmills filled with crack. And all the time you'd be breathing in crack. That's enough. I'm very glad you like pop. We're all glad you like and pop. But what's it got to do with me? Precisely nothing.
That wasn't very nice.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Pooh, but nobody at all wants to listen to pop.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Now, when you... Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.